welcome to the podcast. My name is Hansel Lin. I'm here with my best friend, Wayne Tang. We wrote a book, which, like this podcast, is also called theCoderBros Go to White Castle. It's a book about our story, how we grew up Asian, how we became best friends, and how we found our White Castle. Only our destination wasn't a crazy fast food joint, but an awesome little business called the Coder School that we now run together. So we started this podcast to explore the stories of other Asian Americans like us and how they'd write their own book, what they think of as their White Castle, and everything in between. So let's get to it. Wayne, you want to introduce our awesome guest today?
Yeah, our guest today is another super long-time friend of ours from back in our single party days. She is, with all honesty, the sweetest person you could ever meet. Her full name, I won't give her, is Sui Mei, and it kind of, to me, it how I always think about it is Sweet May, because she is the sweetest person. So that's just kind of how I always think about her. But she is a graduate of UPenn, has had an amazing career in consulting at Accenture, as well as being an executive at a giant Fortune 500 company, Visa. And again, her name is Sui Mei Ngeow. So welcome, May, to the podcast. And I guess maybe just get us started by briefly letting us know what you're currently up to.
Um, well, thanks for the introduction. That was really awesome. Kind of corny and
Wayne's
cheesy
got the
coming
best
from you
introductions.
guys. I
Yeah.
know.
See, she's being sweet. She's just being sweet already. So means
No,
I
that
am.
was awesome. Okay, what am I up to now? So, like you said, I am an executive at Visa. I'm in our product organization. I, prior to product at Visa, had never done anything with product really, other than a couple of consulting gigs here and there. Um, but I spend my days talking to clients and really focusing on taking Visa's products and capabilities to market in North America. That's kind of the boring side of the house. Like the rest of my days when I'm not at work are also spent being a mom of two girls. Um, just turned 6 and just turned 10, which is crazy.
Congrats. That's
I
awesome.
know it's crazy. I feel really old all of a sudden. Um, but
You're not even close to old.
I
You've got
know.
a ways to
Well, at
go to
least
even
you
get to
guys are
Wayne and
older
I.
than me, so
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
older than you, so you're just making us feel worse. You're
yeah.
pushing us over the edge.
Yeah, but yeah, so we hang out a lot. I mean, the girls are great. They're not at the point yet. I'm trying a little bit of reverse psychology because they're still very clingy to mom and they still want me to be around all the time. If I have to take business trips and things, they're always all upset. And I try this reverse, I'm playing the long game with them. I try this reverse psychology being like, hey, in a couple of years, especially with the older one, you're not going to want me anywhere near you. You're going to like not want to talk to me because I'm your mom. You're going to be a teenager. And they're like, no, no, that's never going to happen. And I was like, okay, we'll see. So hopefully that pans out in the long run and it doesn't
Unfortunately,
happen.
it will, and they never want to talk to
Unfortunately,
you when
yeah,
they even get the
because mine
PTA.
are, yeah. I have two
Well,
girls, 14 and 12, in that exact scenario. They were like, no, it never
yeah,
will. It's already happening. So
I
Wayne
know,
knows.
I know. But we'll see.
really
Fingers
sad.
crossed.
It's
Yeah.
awesome that you brought up your family though, because actually the people that we talk to usually they just stick to the jobs, and we're kind of thinking, oh, well, are they going to talk about their personal stuff? And so it sounds like your kids are very important to you.
They
So
are.
that's a good thing. Are you?
Yes.
Would you say so? Before this, we were talking about how you're such a career stud. Like so you didn't mention that you went to Accenture. You were at Accenture for a super long time. Accenture, for those
Yes.
out there, is a consulting company, one of the big ones. She was
Yeah.
there all the way to partner. Not a lot of people stick all the way to partner. So super huge level career stuff, but yet at the same time you have this family. How do you see that balance? I know you are you like are you the house spouse? Does your husband do the house
Jeez.
spouse? Like who does that type of stuff?
Yeah.
We play a fun balancing game, I think.
Mm,
So fortunately, just schedule wise, and this is part of the reason why, after such a long career at Accenture, I decided to make a little bit of a switch. It was somewhat for lifestyle change as well as in professional reasons. But so my husband has a job, Forrest, you guys know Forrest. He has a job that
Yeah.
takes him, that he has to be in the office super early in the morning. So I have mornings. I do all the waking them up, getting them ready, getting them breakfast, packing their lunches, etc., getting them to school because for some reason, that only occurred to me when they got to school. California, or at least the Bay Area, doesn't do school buses. And so I have to do the
Right. Yeah.
drop-offs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like my calendars are always blocked from, 7:30 to about 9 or 8:45, which is like my school drop-off commute time that it's really hard for me to take meetings at that point. But because he has to be in early, he also comes home early and he has to do all the afternoon shuttling around from activity to
Nice.
activity and dinner and stuff. And so I don't get home until maybe, I don't know, 6:30 on an average day.
And does Forrest
Um,
actually like, does he make the dinners or is it like McDonald's and then Panda
Yay!
Express and
Yeah.
Making is loose.
yeah.
I think COVID helped in getting us like a couple of standard recipes that he could do really easily and on weeknights. So that helps. But we do our fair share of takeout for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I got to start the sort of the top of this with a question about your Asian identity. So we want to understand sort of how Asian you identify yourself as. Are you like fairly American? Like are you so let's say from 1 to
Or
10,
just
10 being I'm just full on Asian, I don't care about America. Or one is like just plain American. So like
yeah. Or
like
yeah, zero is that you're actually think that you're Caucasian.
Okay, so
yeah.
I have to calibrate myself. What do you guys describe yourselves as
Oh,
on the
dang, good
scale of one
question.
to
Oh,
10?
nice, nice. I actually did
That's
think about that.
awesome.
So if 10 is Asian, I put myself towards an 8 because all of my friends are Asian. I tell my kids you can only have Asian friends. I've only always had Asian friends.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
but no,
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm all about the Asian myself.
So
Yeah.
Wayne from Alabama, what's your number?
Exactly. So I would say that I definitely was probably a 0 to a 2, for most of my life. And then I met Hansel, and then Hansel brought me from probably a 2 to maybe a 4 or 5. I mean, I still can't speak a lick of it or anything, and I'm still trying. I like Hansel keeps pulling me over. I might get a little bit higher up there, but meeting Hansel definitely probably boosted me up by 3 or 4 or 5 points, something like
Nice.
that.
All
Brought me
right.
into the hall.
So,
Oh, cool.
That's very
okay, so I'm
consulting of you.
gonna,
You got to calibrate first. That's very good.
yeah, I mean, I have
Yeah,
to, right? It's all relative.
right.
So, okay. So if those are my two points of calibration, then I'm gonna say I started most like my early years. So I grew up in rural Pennsylvania. You guys know that. So my early years were definitely more on in like the 2 to 4 range. So while I grew up in rural Pennsylvania, and I would have yelled at my parents that I was totally American, I did spend every other summer, actually almost every summer, abroad in
Hmm.
In like
either
Singapore.
Southeast Asia, either Singapore and
Okay.
Malaysia, or
Jeez.
in England. But even in England, it was with my Asian grandparents, right? So
Mhm.
um, so I can't say I was like super, super American even then. And then I went to Penn, and you guys know how Penn is.
Very Asian. Very Asian.
So I started
Very
to move up
competitive.
the number scale a little bit. And then, of course, moving to Boston and then New York and then out to San Francisco by the time I hit the Bay Area. I'm definitely, I don't know if I would say I was an 8, though. Like, 8 to
Hmm.
me is like, I speak the language really comfortably, almost like very decently comfortably, but I don't have an accent, that kind of thing. Like I'm more of like I feel like I'm more like a 6 or 7.
Okay, how about
Um,
this question then? What if one of your daughters got married to a white dude? What would you do?
I don't think it would matter whatsoever. Yeah,
Okay, then you're lower down on
See,
the scale.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Hansel won't even allow that. No.
That's it.
yeah. I mean, yeah, which is why I'm like more like a 6, 7, right? Like I don't know that I'm
Okay.
that far up on the scale
But you
yet.
do Jiang Guoyu, right?
Yes,
John
but
Goyu. Yeah.
Or Gong
what?
Gong
See?
Nua, maybe.
Yes,
See?
actually, probably
Excellent.
Guoyi
Hey,
a little bit better than you.
I'm gonna bump myself
Based on
up.
that accent.
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
bumping myself
exactly.
up 1 to 2 points because I actually understood those phrases.
You understand? Yes.
John Goyu, I can understand that. See, I'm
Yeah.
at least a point or two higher. See, I was underestimating myself. I'm up there.
I don't
I'm
know,
up
but
there.
that was like a very Alabama accented Guoyi
Exactly.
in there.
Yeah,
So
Jiang Guoyu.
that was pretty
John
impressive.
Goyu. John Goyu. Yeah, there
Nice.
you
Yeah.
go.
So
So,
well,
so
and
how?
actually the kids coming along actually pushed me up even more because then I was really vested in actually trying to speak to them a little bit.
Yeah,
And getting like they went to Mandarin immersion preschools and still have Mandarin immersion after school programs, even in elementary school and stuff. So
Nice.
I feel like that pushed me up a little bit more when I had to start thinking about how they would be, like where on the scale they would be if I didn't, especially since Forrest isn't Chinese either.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. Actually, I did the same thing. I mean, I actually tried to do Cantonese when my kids are young, but then I lost that really fast because nobody else speaks it. And then
Right.
that's how I learned my little bit of Mandarin is I'm like, 脱鞋子, 洗手, all those stupid phrases. Um, but and so have you how are they taking to the Chinese? Have you forced them into the Chinese way? Do you feel like you're
Yeah.
a tigerish mom at all?
I am a terrible tiger mom. I want to be a tiger mom, but I'm just I don't know. It's not in me to be a
Oh,
tiger mom.
So you're more laid back, but you want to crack the whip, but you're
I
more laid
want
back.
to, but I'm so much more laid back. Like they're both of them play piano, both of them
yeah,
do
there
I
you
like
go.
dance and tennis and swimming and like they have their activities. But like piano, I'm like the night before their lessons, I'm like, oh crap, we gotta practice. I
Yeah,
forgot
that's
for
the
the first
American in you.
last 5 days. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I did, I want to at least give them the opportunities. I just don't crack the whip so much. So that's why I'm kind of a terrible tiger mom. But like with the language, at least I know that they understand, and that's like a good enough base for me that they can understand and that they started early, that if, moving forward in life, that they have better propensity to pick up languages, whether it's Asian languages or other.
Yeah.
That's kind of all I was looking for, not necessarily that they would speak.
Mm.
I wish they would speak a little bit more.
What
Um,
about the culture side? Because so Forrest isn't
mm,
isn't there. I actually when I grew up, I kind of did similar to you. I went to Hong Kong every summer, and that's why I'm Chinese at all, I think.
yeah,
But do you think like that culture? I feel like my kids are becoming they're just American, right? They don't know
yeah,
anything about the culture. Do you feel
yeah.
like that's
Yeah.
missing at all? Do you think
Well,
about pushing that on
but Bay Area American is different from
them?
American American.
That's a good point.
That is a
That's a
great
good
point.
point. Tell us
That's
more about
so
that. That's a
true.
good point.
Yeah,
Because,
because
yeah.
they are like just standard Bay Area American, but that means that they are very used to eating like every Chinese dish, every Korean dish, every Japanese dish out there,
Mm,
like very used to having the options of like different cuisine, different languages. They're very used to having different cultures and practices and traditions all around them all the time. That is not how I grew up in rural Pennsylvania.
That is not
Um,
how I grew
which
up
is
in Alabama.
exactly
You
right.
know
Like
what I
I
yeah.
mean?
didn't have sushi until I was in
I
college.
mean,
Yeah,
nobody,
me too.
yeah, nobody even knew what Chinese New Year really was. Whereas
Yeah,
here, it's more like you said, Bay Area American is very different.
it's
Because,
really different.
yeah,
And so,
it's a great point.
yeah, so like, I don't know how I'd have to, again, calibrate their numbers because I don't know what I'm comparing to there, but they're definitely American, but Bay Area American.
But
So,
yeah, I like that.
yeah,
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 that's already halfway to China, I guess.
it
Is the
Yeah.
is.
Bay Area.
We just spent Thanksgiving in Tokyo and they were perfectly comfortable.
Well,
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
We were
That's
just joking
cool.
about my daughters that, I mean, they actually don't think of themselves as a minority in this
mm-mm.
country. Because if you grow up in the Bay Area, you actually think, you're the majority because
Yeah,
you kind of are, especially if
you
you go
sort
to
of are.
a Mandarin immersion school and all of
Yeah.
that, they
Well,
don't
so
even
they're
know.
in a public school now. They're in public school now, and I was joking because last year my sister texted me a picture of her daughter's birthday party, and they were all Asian. Like
Yeah,
all her friends were Asian, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that's how like maybe this birthday party is gonna look. And then I pulled out her class picture, and I took a picture of her class picture, and I sent it to my sister, and we just had to laugh. Literally zero kids with blonde hair.
right.
Everybody was Asian or Hispanic, and
Hmm.
even the Hispanics were in a very, very small minority of the entire class picture of 30 kids. It was crazy.
Right. That is
So
crazy.
it's really different.
Because in
Wait,
Alabama, in
this is
my class picture, I'm like the speck. that's
yeah.
it.
In your school picture, not even your
Yeah,
class picture.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
you grew up in rural Pennsylvania. How rural was it? What are we talking about?
Uh, so I'm talking about, I grew up in a town of about 20,000 people that is on,
Oh,
it's about 20 minutes north of Mason Dixon line and in the center of the state. So the fact that I even know what the Mason
Oh,
Dixon
wow.
line is an
Yeah.
indication. Are when I say rural Pennsylvania, like the one of the things that I bring up is, my fifth grade class field trip was to the Gettysburg battlefield because Gettysburg was the next town over in
Mm,
20 minutes over. Gettysburg of the Civil War fame.
yeah.
And our activity of in the field trip was that we were supposed to reenact scenes from the Civil War. So you can imagine me as an Asian kid going, "Well, this is weird."
Right, right.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
Um,
man.
yeah.
yeah, I mean, thankfully they split us into another statement as to where I grew up, but they split us into girls and boys, and the girls had to go work the farmhouse, and the boys had to
What the
go
fuck?
work the fields, and the Gettysburg battle stuff, right? But even that is kind of interesting to look back on. But that's the kind of place I grew up in.
So was it did you sense any like racism? So I take it you were
Um,
like one of the few Asians there,
Yeah,
right?
I was one of the very few. And thankfully, I you can tell from my voice, like I didn't sound like, an immigrant. I was American born,
Mm,
and so,
sure.
um,
Right.
and I think that I'm the oldest of four, and the first three of us are girls. I think that as an Asian girl, I had it a lot easier than if I were a boy growing up in that environment.
Huh.
um, because for better or worse, it was still like the Asian, stereotypes of like um, model minority plus docile women plus all of that other stuff, and plus exotic, right?
Right.
So I had it a little bit, but it doesn't mean I didn't feel any of the race tension. I remember my first real boyfriend, I would say, not my first boyfriend, but my first real boyfriend in high school. His parents were so worried about, they made it a point to tell him it's not that we don't like her at all, like we love her and
Wow.
So he's
everything. It's
white.
just that he was white. Yeah, he is white, I guess.
Yeah, he
um,
was.
Yeah.
He's
He
Asian
still
now.
yeah,
is.
yeah. But they were just really worried that, because we're in high school and we're dating, of course we're going to get married and have kids. And so, what about the kids? The kids are going to be mixed race,
What
and like
color
that's
will
going to
they
be
be?
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
exactly. And
gonna
so
look
they were
weird.
so
Yeah.
worried about that.
Oh man.
Um, yeah, which was, I'm like in high school, I'm like, whatever, this is high school, I'm out of
Yeah.
here as soon as I graduate. So,
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
but
Wow.
that was part of my, you know, quote unquote worldly upbringing, the fact that I did spend time away from the town growing up, that I knew I was out of there as soon as I graduated.
Mm.
But
Did
that
your
wasn't the
parents
case.
push the Asian stuff on you in terms of, because you became super successful after that, even just getting into Penn, it must be hard to get into Penn, right? So you must have been working really hard in high school. Did they push that on you, or do you feel like that was your own thing?
I think a little bit of both. They didn't really, really push. My parents were super young, so they might
Mm.
not have had any idea what they were doing. They
Yeah.
did drive us to Baltimore every week to do an hour of Chinese school, an hour and a half or something of Chinese school every week. It was like an hour and a half drive, 2 hour drive every weekend that
Wow.
we went down to Baltimore. Again, part of my exposure to like the outside world beyond rural Pennsylvania. So they did push a little bit on that, and when I wanted to quit piano, no, you have to keep playing and stuff. But they were, again, I think they just didn't really know what else to do with us.
Yeah.
Getting into
How
Penn
did,
is a funny story because I personally think, looking back, the fact that I was one of the only Asian kids coming out of this rural Pennsylvania school just really played
mm.
into that. That
So
they're
was
like,
that on
oh
your
yeah,
essay? Like I was the only Asian kid in my.
not even. I
Well,
think it was literally numbers. Like, oh, low
Oh.
performing school, we got to pull somebody out of
The
there.
quota.
right. We got to get somebody from the Mason Dixon line.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah. So,
So, so how did your parents actually end up there? Is it something related to, it's almost always related to education. My uncle came over and he was working at some college, and that's how I came
oh,
over. Like,
yeah.
why were you in such
So
a small town? Yeah.
my dad had gotten his medical degree, did a residency in England. That's where my parents met. And then his next one was at Johns Hopkins, in Baltimore. And then as that was finishing, I think what he did was drew a radius over like places to check out, checked out a couple of hospitals and was like, hey, that looks like a comfortable place to raise kids, nice and quiet. Let's move up there. It's only an hour and a half away. So for a little bit, I was still like, I remember vaguely remember he went and checked out and bought the house and like was started to work up in Pennsylvania. And then we finally moved up I don't know when, but
So there's some
I was
hospital
like,
there,
yeah,
basically for a job,
yeah,
essentially. Okay.
basically for the job. And that's where we ended up, and that's where he still is actually.
Oh,
We're
wow.
only
Wow.
Still there.
now, yeah, we're really now just trying to figure out how to whether we build or buy something for him out here.
Oh, you're gonna try to move them
Yeah.
out because
Yeah,
getting
well,
to a certain age.
as my mom came out when my niece was born to help out with the kids so that we didn't have to put them in daycare so early.
Mhm.
And then she stayed because then my eldest was born, and then my second niece was born, and then my nephew was born, and we're all in California. And then my youngest was born. And that was my eldest niece is now 11. So, uh, yeah, she's been out here for 11 years.
Well,
So
what
her
about your dad
address is
though?
in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yeah, her address is still in Pennsylvania. They talk on FaceTime like 3 times a day. They take trips all over the world together, like multiple times a year. But
Oh.
she has, she basically day to day lives with us and the grandkids. Yeah.
So let's see. So back to some of your work stuff. So your corporate world. So you've been climbing that corporate ladder for a long time. Is that your White Castle? Is that our Wayne and I we just happened upon this stupid thing and we're like, hey, that's our White Castle. Is that
Yeah.
is that like your thing that drives you? What's the thing that is that you're going to be
That
always doing this
drives
corporate thing?
me.
Or have you thought
Um,
about, hey, I'm going to leave and start a coder school or
I
something?
I have thought for fleeting thoughts that not necessarily a coder school, but just like, oh, I wonder if I would
Yeah.
want to do something different.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard when you're like, when you spent all your life in corporate, it's like the
Yeah.
golden handcuffs, right? Like it's hard
It
to
is.
imagine like,
Especially when you're that high up. I mean,
and
Yeah.
you get kind
I
of
mean, that's hard to
comfortable,
leave.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
get kind of comfortable. So I think that's probably it. It's like probably what I'm going to be doing. I'm not sure
Wow.
that I
Okay.
would have said like that this is well, you can even hear it in my voice right now. I'm saying it's probably it. It's not like I meant to do
Yeah.
this
Right, right.
forever,
You never
right?
know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like I planned for this to be forever or whatever. I like when I started at Accenture as a new grad out of college, I was like, I'm just going to do this for 2 years and then get out. And then I
Yeah.
ended up staying for 19. So,
Right.
um, just things as long as, I keep learning and keep being interested in the things that I like doing. And it's actually the people, like as long as I'm working with cool people and continue to feel like I'm getting something out of it, either personally, financially, or professionally. Like I don't see a need to
Yeah.
drastically
Well, you're
shift at this
definitely gonna
point.
get something financially out of it
Yeah,
for as long as you
Yeah,
last,
yeah.
yeah,
because that's a pretty good setup.
VP, yeah,
yeah.
VP at Visa. I think
So
you've
do you
made it.
think being there, like where you are now, and after having such an awesome career and continuing it, do you think being where you are now and going to Penn, do you think it's luck or skill? Or you'll probably say both. If so, how
Yeah,
Of
much
yeah.
course
luck?
I'm gonna of course I'm gonna say both. I think it's both absolutely. And I'm not even sure that I would say skill. I would say adaptability, flexibility, the consulting terms. Of
Great.
course I have to throw those
Okay.
in, right? It's
Yeah.
not like you can't just say skill, because skill is
Yeah.
like, what do you mean by skill? What do you do? What do you know? It's not really that. It's just like the ability to actually take on whatever's thrown at you and figure out through whatever's thrown at you what you actually want to do with it. I think that's
Hmm.
more of it, because the luck comes into play with things that are thrown at you. Um, and then the adaptability and the flexibility and the ability to sort of sort through all of that is where maybe the skill comes in.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say perseverance because man, consulting is a hard job.
I
You gotta like
think you kind of
really
just
grind
block
through
that part out.
Yeah, consulting.
Compartmentalizing, that's also a
I,
good thing to have.
yeah, right. Because by nature, consulting is to just kind of like weed them out, weed them out. They just get the young, and then usually after a few years, they're
Yeah,
burnt
I
out.
remember when I was at Accenture,
Yeah,
like up or out was like that was a thing that everybody
Yeah.
said,
it
up or out.
was.
But I think the thing is May
Is it
kept going
still?
up. So,
Yeah, so
so
you were up.
yeah, so me and
Wayne and I
Hansel
were
went,
out.
we were out. May went the up, we went the out, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it was always, yeah. I was really just about finding where I really wanted to, like, what direction I really wanted to go, and so I just
Yeah.
didn't have a need to go out.
Do you think
Um,
you would have done anything different if you look back?
It's really hard to say. I mean, like, I don't have
Yeah.
anything to compare it to like if I would have done something different. Maybe I would
Yeah.
have bought a little bit more Bitcoin. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that I
Be a
would
little bit
have.
more rich by now.
Yeah.
Nvidia, maybe some
Yeah.
Nvidia stock. That would be
Yeah,
nice.
exactly. No, I
Yeah.
don't have any regrets on my career. I obviously have lessons learned, but no
Yeah.
regrets from stuff that I've done and where
I guess that
I've
makes sense because
been.
you were in like you said you've only been in two places, so you must have
Hmm.
liked it enough to stay 19 years in one place and maybe another 19 here. You've
Oh
been what,
God, I
7
hope
here?
I'm not. Now I'm much closer to retirement age. I don't have to think
Right.
about 19 years.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
Point.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So sounds good. Let's see. So let's move on to the story section. So we asked you to think a little bit earlier if I don't know if you thought while we were talking of another good story. But I'll just ask it completely generically. Tell us a really interesting story about yourself that other people might not know.
So I didn't have a chance to think on the fly, but I will try to think of something. I think you guys had mentioned um, celebrity stuff or things about me that people don't know. So there's two things. One is in the vein of consulting. One thing that people don't realize about me is I meet a lot of people. I talk to a lot of people. It's kind of my job to, build relationships and engage and interact with just a ton of people. I
Hmm.
am terrible, terrible, terrible at remembering both names and faces. Like I can probably
Hmm.
recognize you and know that I know you from somewhere, but I won't remember your name. Or I'll remember your name but have no idea what you look like, even if I've seen
Hmm.
you a couple times. It takes me a little bit. I'm just terrible at there's this thing about people and like recognition, like facial recognition and stuff like that. So like making that link is often hard for me. Um, so to tie it to a celebrity sighting, I was at I don't know, going to some happy hour event or something in my consulting days, and a bunch of people coming in and out of this hotel lobby. I was trying to go find where I was supposed to go, and I walked by this group of people, and this guy smiles at me, and I was like, "Oh, I must know him. That he must be going where I'm going." And so I sort of was like at the elevator, but he's like, he walks into the elevator with a bunch of people. And as the door's closing, he like gives me another like smile wink or whatever. And so I'm like, oh,
I would have
must be
been
one of the
thinking, I would have
consulting
thought he was
guys.
hitting on you.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly. I
so
was
That's the
about to
first thing
yeah,
I would
say.
have
Yeah.
possibly,
thought.
but the elevator doors closed because I was too far back. And so I was like, I'll just wait for the next one. And I looked at my friend and I was like, hey, uh, is he going where we're going? Like, who is that? Like, I feel like I know him from somewhere. And they're like,
Hmm.
dude, that was Seal. What are you talking about? And I'm like, what?
Seal.
The-
And if you
the-
think about it, Seal has a really distinctive face.
Oh man,
like
he's pretty unique.
he's the guy with the scar, right? Isn't he
Yeah,
bald?
he
Exactly.
has that scar,
Exactly.
and I guess he,
Huh.
yeah.
He
Exactly.
looks
And
like he
so
would be a celebrity. Like you would just be like, that guy's got to be a celebrity. He's
yeah,
got
and
to
like like upon her saying that, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. He had his entourage with him, and okay,
Right.
so got it. That's why he looks familiar.
bodyguards. Yeah.
But like it's just that's one
It's
of
too
those things
funny.
that people just don't know about me. So when you ask about like celebrity sightings and stuff, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know who I'm
That's an
looking at. Like
awesome one.
I like pass
Seal.
people on the sidewalk and they're like, I went to school with you for
Yeah.
5 years. I'm like,
You're like,
oh
yeah.
right.
Yeah, like,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
actually, I was going to ask you. I forgot to ask you. So something that I think a lot of people do know about you is I would say that you're an extrovert. Would you agree with that?
what's really funny is that's another thing people don't understand about me is that I am actually dead on the border of introvert and extrovert with
Oh
Oh,
wow.
really?
actually introvert leaning tendencies. Yes.
Whoa.
Um,
Really?
so
So
just
what kind
because
of?
I can talk to people doesn't mean I like to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So when you're talking to us, it doesn't necessarily mean you want to
Right.
be on this podcast.
She's counting down the minutes. She's just like, when is this thing gonna end?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I
Time's
mean,
up.
I was like, wait, do I have to be dressed up for this? Like, who's listening to
Right.
this thing? Do people actually pay
Right.
attention to you guys?
That's probably a no.
Huh.
So you're safe
Yeah.
there. You can,
Yeah.
our podcast is kind of introvert. We're doing
Yeah.
an introvert
So you
podcast.
have introvert tendencies, like you like to do your nights home kind of thing, and just
Yeah,
chill
I
with the
would
family.
much rather chill with the family or a close group of friends than go out and go party. I cannot stand crowds and
Hmm.
like the conventions and my speaking engagements that I always have to do are utterly exhausting for me.
Oh, you don't like those? Oh, I
Wow.
would have thought you would like it. So when you have to go, hi, I'm May, and like talk to other
Yeah.
people.
I do it all the time, and I am in a role where I'm literally the client facing. I'm the face of
You have
Visa
to do it.
product to my clients. I do it all the time. I'm always on stage. I'm always in speaking events. I've had people come up and be like, "You're an awesome speaker. Like, hey, great job," and et cetera. But it's so exhausting for me. I can't
Wow.
wait to go back to the hotel room and just like turn on Netflix and sit there for the rest of the night
Oh,
and do
that's all.
nothing.
I didn't know that about you at all. I'm totally like that. Like when Wayne and I go talk to people or whatever, for a couple hours later, I'm like, I'm out. I'm going to
Yeah.
sleep. I'm totally. It's just
Yeah.
you just feel the drain, right? That's
Hmm.
oh wow, I didn't know that with you.
Yep. So on
That's
the
interesting.
Myers-Briggs or whatever, it's right down the middle,
Right down the
right on the
middle.
line.
Wow. Oh, so as defined by Myers-Briggs.
As yeah, and
Yeah.
other type things too.
Yeah, yeah.
Other of
Okay.
those personality
I'm
tests.
sure you had
So
to take many of those tests for your work.
I have absolutely. Um,
Okay, Wayne, what do we got up next here
oh,
for me? Did you just
That.
gong me? Did you
No, that
gong
is
me or
a
did you gong Wayne? Did
that's
you
from
gong
like the
Wayne?
5th century. That is an authentic gong. No, it's actually
awesome.
a sound bite. But what that means is that it's time for the Heru portion of the podcast, which that is 4 letters, Haru, which
I was
stands
wondering if that
for
was just your Chinese accent. Sorry, dude.
yeah. See,
It
see,
is. It also
it
is.
kind of is. It kind of is in a way. It's kind of making fun of our own race, but it is also just an acronym. Stands for How Asian Are You? So
Oh,
we have a few questions here that is actually more accurate than a DNA test. How you answer
nice.
these is going to tell you how Asian are you. So here we go, I guess.
Oh,
Hansel's
dude, I'm
gonna kind of
scared.
yeah, you should
Okay.
be. So we will see. And it's all relative, as you said, we have to
Yeah,
see kind of,
it's been calibrated.
yeah, it's been
Nice.
calibrated. Hansel scored a 10. I scored a 10. So if you're below that, I don't
Nice.
know. You're going to be,
Yeah.
labeled, yeah,
This
disowned
should
by
be
the
interesting.
Chinese race. Yeah, it should be
All right.
interesting.
Here we go. Question number one. So we only have three questions. We only have three
Okay.
questions. Get 2 out of 3 and win our spectacular prize. Okay. Question number one. Well, a language question since you speak Zhang the Guoyus.
John the
Um,
Goyes.
how name all the ways to say grandma and grandpa in Chinese?
All the ways?
All
Well,
1 million of the ways.
obviously,
Okay, how about two of each, right? There's two sides of each at least.
okay, so two sides. It's po po and nai nai and ye ye and gong gong. That's
Nice.
in Mandarin. But
Dang,
like
Oh, do it in
points
my
Cantonese.
already.
Do it in
yeah,
Cantonese
Oh
for your
yeah,
oh no,
extra
can you
I'm
do
not
credit.
gonna
it?
try it in Cantonese. But like we called like ama, I have a lot of
Oh yeah,
amas.
Ama. That
Like,
was in the
yeah.
Crazy Rich Asians movie. They were
Yeah,
always
yeah.
like
Well, that's like
Ama.
a very Hokkien thing is to like
Okay.
amma and like my and then like we it's not just it's not your like direct line grandparents, but it's all their like all the aunties and uncles of that generation too. So you have like gupas and supas and like
Oh yeah.
ammas and I used to have like a fat amma and a small amma because that's
Is
like
that
just
what you
the way
call
that we
them?
called them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Fat
Fat
No, we did
ama,
Ama,
like
hung ama,
amma fat and
small
amma
Ama.
small.
You like fat
fatty.
Ama.
Yeah, and yeah, so there's
I don't
lots of
know why, but in
ways.
Chinese, that's a popular nickname. Fatty, Fei Fei.
Daddy, yeah,
It's the fatty Fei
yes.
Fei.
Yeah,
Yep. So,
All right. Cool. All
uh,
right. Ding, ding, ding. Nice
yeah.
yay.
answer.
Nailed that
One
one.
for one.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna go into a food question. Are you a foodie, May?
I mean, I like food a lot, but I
Okay.
don't know if I
But you're
call
not a
myself a
full-on foodie. Okay.
foodie. Yeah.
Okay. So maybe this will be. Let's see how you get this one. Okay. So Peking duck. Everybody knows
Hmm.
Peking duck because we're all Asian.
We all love it, and we're all Asian.
What are all the ingredients that go into that Peking duck bun or wrap?
The little
There's
bow, you
like
mean?
A
four
little
traditional
bow, yeah.
ingredients
Sure,
The
into the
traditional.
Uh,
bow or wrap.
there's the
What
sauce, there's the duck skin.
what
Do
kind
you
of
count
sauce?
I don't know. It's like an oyster sauce or hoisin sauce or something like
Hoisin
that.
sauce.
Hoisin.
Yeah.
Yeah, nailed it.
Nailed
The
it.
spring onion. And do you count the duck
Nice.
skin and the meat differently?
Oh, sure, that's an ingredient. So you
Yeah,
Okay.
said
that's
green
enough.
onion, hoisin, duck. Okay.
Skin. Yeah, duck
Skin
skin.
and
And then
meat.
the bow, right? Like that.
And
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's
the
one
skin and meat.
more that's semi-common.
The
There's
one
one
more
more
that's
that's
semi.
semi-common. It
Wait.
is
I don't even know what you're.
green-ish.
Oh, it's not the spring onion?
There's more.
Isn't it the onion?
It's almost that color, and
It's
it comes in
almost the
strips.
Oh, I didn't even know that was different. I don't like duck, so I don't
Maybe I'm
actually.
totally wrong. Maybe you guys are like, you're not
Yeah,
I'm
Asian.
like,
that's
I
Don't
thought
they?
you're
that
not
was
Don't
like
they
Asian,
the
give you
dude.
those?
onion. Like, isn't that just strips of
Well,
onion?
it's
There's
the
that. Definitely,
onions.
there's that. But
It's
there's
the green
also, don't they
onion.
give? Isn't there also cucumbers?
Oh no,
I
not in
mean, not.
Peking duck.
I guess not always. There
No.
are sometimes. I wouldn't say that that's like 100% like gimme, right?
Maybe
It's not
my
as
That's
popular
restaurants
like
as
are
that's
fancier
like
Quaker's.
than
Forrest
yours.
telling me that like the soup always comes with those crispy fried noodles on top, and I'm
Right.
like, what are you eating Chinese
Yeah.
food?
Yeah. What are you
It's
talking about? Egg drop soup. I mean, that's legit,
Yeah.
man.
It could be my Iowan background. In Iowa, too,
Yeah.
we always put
They serve
cucumbers on our Peking
cucumbers.
duck.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's like Kung Pao chicken always has carrots. I mean, I
Awesome.
don't
That's
Okay,
funny.
know.
2 for 2. 2 for 2. I
Two
learned
for
something,
two,
and I'm
though.
not as Asian
Yeah.
as I thought I was.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this last question, you're a little bit younger, so we'll see if you get this one. So,
All right.
A little
all
bit.
right.
She's a lot
So
younger, actually, but yeah.
this one this one has a bonus question attached, but the basic question is, what movie from the 1990s was based on a book written by Amy Tan?
Oh, Joy Luck Club.
Nice.
Nailed
Nice.
it.
You are old enough. Did you see it
Yeah.
when did it come out? When you were of age? Like was it
Yeah.
Yeah. No, wait.
when
When
did
did
it
I
come
see
out?
that?
Was that a
Uh,
90s movie?
it must have been because I think at that point I was actually I don't even remember. I feel like I was in college,
Oh, could be. Okay.
That
I
could
think
be.
I
maybe.
was probably, yeah, I was after college for me for sure.
I
Okay, so
think it
bonus
was like
question.
second
Yep.
half of
Second half of
90s,
college.
maybe.
It was
Maybe.
a pretty big movie for sure. It was
Yeah.
like
It
the
was
Crazy Rich
huge.
Asians of the day. Yeah. All
Yeah.
right, so here's the bonus question. Name any actor from the movie that's not Ming-Na Wen.
Russell Wong.
Nice, Russell Wrong, the
Whoa.
hottie of the day.
Of
That's
course.
right.
Of
That's
course
right.
I
Is that
knew
why
who
you
he
remember him?
was. That's
He
You're
is the
like,
exactly why
that
I
guy
classic.
is
remember him.
hot.
He's the classic.
Yes. That
Now
is
it's Henry
exactly who I
Golding.
remember.
Yeah, now it's the Golding. I guess Henry Golding.
Yes. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, from
he's the
Crazy
new
Rich.
he's like the
He's
new
the
Russell
new,
Wong, I think.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I don't
All
know if I
right,
can
Wayne,
name anyone
how
else
did our
though.
guest do today
Yeah.
on the quiz?
So you nailed it. You didn't miss a thing. So you got 3 out of 3. Then you got the bonus question. So
Nice.
you are a winner today, and you do get our prize, which will be a copy of our book, The CoderBros
Nice.
Go to White Castle. And we could
Awesome.
probably even, because you got the bonus question, we'll even sign it for you.
Yeah,
That's
just solely
amazing.
because of that.
It's amazing, right? I mean, that prize is kind of priceless in
It
more ways
really
than you can
is.
imagine.
Priceless prize.
Priceless in that it's not worth anything, and priceless in that, hey, a lot of sentimental value.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. All right, so
Definitely.
we're going to wrap this podcast up with one last question for you that you could do top of your head. So I'm going to give you the floor to say whatever you want, and usually the question would be like, what is a good life tip from you that you might have for others in our boat, our peers?
Yeah. That you would tell
Um,
a young May,
Yeah.
you know?
um, I don't know. Just enjoy what you're doing, whatever it is, whenever it is.
Enjoy life. I think that was in our book. There's a whole section about you gotta just enjoy whatever comes at you.
The ride,
Yeah.
That's
right? It's not just the
Whichever
yeah,
way, whatever
destination.
comes at you, just enjoy it. Yeah.
yeah.
You don't have
Enjoy
no
the
idea where
ride.
it's going to go.
Yeah, yeah, and life is short, unfortunately. So we got
Yes.
to do what you got to do.
It goes
All
Yeah.
right.
fast.
Well, cool. Great tip. Great tip by May. Well, cool. Thanks so much, May. I really appreciate your time coming on here. We had a bunch of fun.
Yeah. Thank you.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Thanks
so
for
we'll
having me,
we'll
guys.
yeah, of
I'm
course we'll let you know
super,
when this thing comes out.
yeah.
Really, congratulations also for just, I mean, where you're at. It's amazing. I always kind of look at you and go, wow, I never would have wanted that, but that would have been an amazing thing to do to have that kind of career. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
Um, I make it sound like I'm like done. I feel like I'm not close
Yeah.
yet.
No, we're never done, right? Someone
No,
just
look.
told us that
Look what
at
we're
this age
doing.
we have another
Yeah.
40 to go.
I
Yeah.
40
know.
years to go.
I wish I were closer, but I don't know that I am close enough yet to be being done.
No, there's always weird stuff to do. I mean, we're doing this podcast right here. So
It's
that's
awesome.
kind
I
of
love
weird
it.
and different. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
love
Well,
it.
thanks, May.
All right,
Appreciate it.
Thanks,
thanks,
May.
guys.
We are sponsored by none other than the Coder School, a company that teaches kids how to code with over 70 locations all around the country. So if you're interested in getting your kids to code, head online and check us out. Learn to code, change the world. Thanks for listening.